cute. What the hell?
Legal End Portal exists in vanilla, and here's how to get a working zipline survival. And these are 107 Minecraft things that feel illegal to watch. And hey, the YouTube genies let me know that the fastest anyone has ever subscribed to the channel is 2 seconds flat. So, if you think you can do it faster, speed run to that subscribe button down below. It's free, and it helps out a ton. If we place our IR vendor right here in this end portal, it lights up, but not how you would expect it to. And the reason for this is because end portal frames have a direction to them. So if we face them all the right way, we're able to generate the end portal so that it actually spawns outside of the frame. And worth mentioning, this might be the reason why if you built an end portal in creative, it never actually lit up. You might have just placed the frames facing the wrong way. So take this as a lesson on how to fix that and how to break it at the same time. Here's how to make TNT completely safe. Since even though prime TNT might explode like this regularly, if you were to ignite the TNT and then put it onto a half slab, then the amount of blocks that it actually blows up gets significantly smaller. In some cases, only the slab explodes, which is a lot better than the chain reaction we were looking at otherwise. So if you want to explosion-proof your base and you don't have obsidian, then this deal proves that you might be better half off. Thorn's armor still works even if you're not wearing it. As it turns out, all the game checks for is having it equipped, which means it still counts if you hold a piece of Thorn's armor in your offhand. But you do have to be holding it. It can't just be in your inventory, which is cool to know for a fun fact, but I think I'd rather wear the armor than open up my hand slot. If you're tired of your cat sitting on your chest, then this cage might be the answer. Though that might sound a bit cruel. What's actually happening here is that if we use a piston just right, it's possible to push our pet cat inside of a root block like this. And then with a moss carpet over top so it can't jump out, we make sure our feline stays in timeout. But don't worry, because the block's transparent, it's never going to suffocate or take damage, making it slightly less cruel than it would have been. This pufferfish will never deflate, and the reason for that is this armor stand. See, if we put an item frame underneath a glass block and then waterlog this chest, then our pufferfish friend is able to breathe just fine, but that armor stand will always keep it a little bit on edge. But that gives us the perfect opportunity to have a fully puffed up pufferfish on display, which I've got to say is a lot more visually impressive than just having some guppy floating around your pool. Some people like sponge cake, but probably not like this. Though weird as it may seem, in Bedrock Edition, it's entirely possible to place your cake underneath the water source. And really, there's a whole slew of blocks that you can waterlog in Bedrock that we have no prayer of doing in Java. But if you're really hoping for some cake by the ocean, I guess this could be your opportunity. Watch this fish closely, because in Bedrock Edition, if you put a fish inside of a moving water source like this, then if it stays in the same place idle long enough, its swimming animation will infinitely speed up, until, as you can see, we get some pretty wild results. But it's worth mentioning that no matter how much speed it builds up, as soon as the fish actually moves a block, then its animation goes back to normal. So if you're trying to build up speed for 12 hours, you might want to look somewhere else. Why does the water flow this way? Well, weird as it may seem, it's not a glitch, it's actually possible with pistons. Simply build this shape using a piston and honey blocks, slow down the water, and then break the redstone so that the piston retracts. From that point, the water will still flow like this, and you can create some pretty wild shapes for your waterfalls. Just make sure you don't accidentally update it again. Otherwise, the whole thing will be a wash. This build is illegal, or at least it should be. When you consider the fact that carpets can only be placed above non-air blocks, and lanterns need to be supported either under or on something, then how exactly does this work? But as we see, the solution for doing this is that we build up a water tower, place a carpet over top, and then swim down so that we can place the lantern. From there, drain the water into a bucket, remove the blocks around you, and we'll be left with this monstrosity. But what I will say about this is that we now have a true definition of a symbiotic relationship. Because really, you can't break either piece of this without the whole thing falling apart. I think that's kind of beautiful. Bedrock Edition is known for its fair share of bugs. And while some of those can be a pain, others are just cool to see. And this machine falls into that second category. As demonstrated with the perfect mix of timing and silk touch, we can grab a fully functional portal block item, which is great, but I'll add a disclaimer to